The evidence of 18 eyewitness statements, photograph evidence, and as well as 5 videos from the public to show that it did happen. Some of the key points, I have a summary here, but some of the key points is to quote one of the statements, said there was no provocation of the police forces by the crowd, no heckling, no chanting of offensive slogans, and no physical provocation, despite the fact that we had been corralled on both ends of the road by police and were not allowed to disperse or to move on with the march. And therefore, all of them were very consistent in saying they were actually trapped and forced to seek refuge at both the hospitals. The witnesses all say that they experienced the firing in of the tear gas into the compounds and as well as the water cannons being shot into the area. Like the other witnesses, many of them suffered the nausea, vomiting, eye burns, a number of the effects. One said that she had to go back to Shin itself for medical aid the next day because she was having the asthma attack constantly because of the tear gas. And I think therefore it's really important to see what kind of tear gas, what kind of chemical laced water is being sprayed on peaceful citizens wanting to have freedom of expression and freedom of assembly. Many of them also say that there were arrests, and I concur with Brian because I was there at the Chinese maternity hospital and I watched this over 20 police officers charging into the compound with a group that had actually joined hands, joined arms, and were actually being in solidarity together as they had nowhere else to disperse as well. And I think what is important is some of them were actually praying at that time when the police charged with truncheons as well as this cable plastic ties and beating the protesters with that. And I saw that for myself. I was at the wheelchair and therefore restricted in my movement at that time. But there was no provocation at all. And they continued doing that and arresting, forcefully dragging people, and the testimonies show that the police did drag the people at the compound itself. I think, therefore, it's very clear there was brutal use of force by the police. They cannot deny that. There was also, I would say, kind of attack into a sanctuary, a refuge area, hospitals, which the police should have known that they cannot go in. And I'm shocked at the arrogance of the police in charging into the Chinese maternity hospital compound and arresting innocent people. And therefore, from these testimonies, what many of them said is that they were actually using their constitutional right to freedom of assembly to ask for free and fair elections. And so what we are asking for is that from this witness statements that there be an open inquiry into this attack on both the hospitals, and therefore that we should now review to see what kind of procedures do the police force have where hospitals are concerned. Because I think this is one of the few times that such an attack has happened, and what are the ethics that is upheld by the enforcement agencies where hospitals are seen as refuge centers and sanctuaries, and therefore there cannot be any form of police brutality in the compound of these areas. The other aspect is that there has to be the witnesses have stated that the state and the enforcement agencies must be held accountable after the inquiry, and it must be stated what is the form of accountability they need to show in the light of the form of force, unnecessary force, brutality, and harming of people's bodies, which was not necessary at all. And that accountability must be clearly stated and ensured that it is taken up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.